Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Hakuoki Kyoto Wins. Today we're beginning on the last guy left in the game, Toudou Heisuke. So let's see what kind of new things we have in store for Toudou in this game. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. And of course, as usual, we'll be skipping through all the previously read material, so if you'd like to get the whole story, it's best to listen to the whole playlist in order. Alright, so first attempt to explain my situation. Decide to tell them that I'm not a boy because Toudou totally can't tell. Search the compound. And finally I get to say sure when I get the chance someday, so this choice is exclusive to Heisuke. Not sure what else to do. I nodded awkwardly, and they beamed back at me. They all really want to see me dressed as a girl. When I get the chance someday, sound good? But it makes Heisuke happier than anybody else.
Really? All right. That's a promise, Chizuru. Don't forget it.
Okay. I didn't need Heisuke's advice on how I should dress, considering it was something I looked forward to once I got the opportunity. So, why did I feel so embarrassed? Ask Hijikata if I can help out. Oh, and we actually have something new here, oddly enough. I looked down into the bucket full of water, and my face stared back, sporting a boy's haircut. I must be thinking about dressing like a girl. I shoved my cleaning rag into the water, and the image disappeared behind 1,000 tiny ripples. I hope I'm doing this right.
Oh, is something the matter? If you're tired, you can return to your room. The tea is nearly ready. I can bring you some in a bit.
Oh no, I'm fine. Besides, I told you I wanted to help.
I apologize for the state of the place. These men are terribly lazy. We're honored to have you.
He smiled and squeezed his washcloth into the bucket. Though I was embarrassed to say it aloud, I know he wore a pleasing smile that suited him well.
Is there something on my face?
Oh no, nothing. I'm honestly just happy to contribute to the house. Finally. Almost on cue, one of the soldiers appeared and called Inoe's name.
Inoue, Yamazaki's looking for you. He wishes to discuss the patrol schedules. Ah, yes. My men and I haven't decided on a day for the next month yet. Would you kindly send my apologies to Yamazaki? I'm nearly done here. I'll be along in a moment.
Well, Inoue, I can handle the rest on my own. We're almost done anyway, and I know where the cleaning supplies go.
Well, if you insist. Thank you for your help.
Got nothing better to do. He wiped his hands and stood up, but before he left, Inoue bent over me and whispered,
If anyone you do not recognize appears, please return to your room immediately. Better to avoid any possible difficulties.
Ah, yes. Okay. As Inoue left, I went back to cleaning the floor. Any passerby would likely avoid me, but more trouble was the last thing I needed. It wouldn't hurt to be extra careful. I was pushing myself to work faster when... Heisuke?
Oh, hey, Chizuru.
Huh? Heisuke? What are you doing with that sake?
Oh, well, I was going to head outside and have a drink, but... What are you doing here? Are they letting you out of your room now?
Yeah, I received approval from Hijikata and Inoue. I don't have anything to do, so I asked him if I could help clean the floor.
Wait, seriously? You volunteered to clean up? I don't get you. I wouldn't help clean if you paid me. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but you've got other stuff to do. I don't. Really?
Yeah, you're a weird one.
He laughed, but his eyes were still thin and sharp, like he was watching carefully for me to make a mistake or slip and reveal some hidden truth. Oh, come on, you should trust me by now, don't give me that look. He might have resembled a kid, but Heisuke had a maturity and swagger that erased any doubts one might have about him being a Shinsengumi captain.
Anyway, why the heck are you volunteering to do chores? You think if you work hard we'll start trusting you, or treating you better or something? Not to break your bubble, but it's not happening. You're better off keeping quiet in your room.
No, that's not it at all. I just wanted to do something. You know I came to Kyoto to look for my father. All I've done so far is sit around and wait. Doing nothing all day is eating up any hope I have, forcing me to turn thoughts over and over again.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't really think before I spoke, huh? Here, you can have my sake. Just don't cry. Isn't booze the best way to forget your worries?
Did I look like I was about to cry? He shoved the bottle out towards me. Thank you. I'm kind of in the middle of cleaning, though. I don't really think I should drink right now.
Oh, right, of course. Okay. I'll just, drink it on my own then.
He slumped against the wall and wallowed in a boyish display of self-pity, drinking by himself. Heisuke, don't tell me you're going to drink here.
Nah, don't worry about it. I'm not going to get drunk off this.
That's not really what I meant. His display reminded me that even the most mature of us were prone to such boorish moments. However, it really wasn't my place to judge him.
What? What is it? Come on, what are you trying to say?
Don't you understand? Yukimura is concerned that you might get in trouble for drinking alcohol at such an early hour. Oh, Sanin, hello. He glanced over at me, but said nothing. Before, he may have greeted me, but now... In any event, you should be going, Todo. The commander is looking for you.
Oh, crap, really? That doesn't sound good.
It is almost certainly not good. Best you go and get it over with quickly.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm going. Oh, Chizuru.
Yes?
Actually, if Sana's here, then I guess you're okay. Keep up the good work, Chizuru.
Thanks? He awkwardly shrugged and headed away. It was worrisome, though. His saunter was weighed by a defeated slump. Sanin? What did Hijikata want to talk to him about? From what I understand, Heisuke is about to be scolded. Hijikata is not in the best of moods. Oh no. Did he do something? Indeed. Lately some of the men have been remiss in their duties, and Heisuke is on the top of that list. His indiscretions have been frequent. In short, they may make an example of him. His next few days, I imagine, will be unpleasant. Really? That seems a little harsh. Oh? Only moments ago he offered to drink himself into a stupor right here. How can you defend that? All three of them have strayed too far. They need to be disciplined, so I am in high favor of this. Did Hijikata call Nagakura and Harada in too? No, they are currently elsewhere, but no doubt they will be dealt with as soon as they return. Oh. His words were followed by a long, stiff silence. I felt like I had to say something, so I spoke up. I don't usually see Heisuke all alone like that. Most of the time he's with Nagakura and Harada. I imagine it was because he worries about you. What? He just turned and walked away. No elaboration, huh? Worries about me? Had he been worried I might do something? Was he just keeping an eye on me? Sanen's suggestion implied there was more than he was letting on, but I couldn't quite place it. After all, he was surprised to find me outside my room, so he wasn't there to supervise me. Maybe he came to see how I was doing. Later that night, warm under my covers, my mind fluttered busily, preventing me from resting. Heisuke was later sentenced to house arrest. I was also informed that his food provisions were to be decreased, so he wasn't present at dinner. He must be getting really hungry. The more I thought about Heisuke, though, the more worried I became. What was it he said?
Actually, if Sanen's here, then I guess you're okay. Keep up the good work, Chizuru.
As I played the words back in my head, I grew more and more convinced that he had been worried about me and came to check up on me. I was essentially confined in my room, and I could only speak to certain people. Was he so worried that he was willing to keep me company when all the others were out? Alright, that's it. I made up my mind. I rolled over, stood up, and grabbed my jacket. I'm going to be naughty. I tiptoed down the hallway until I reached the room where Heisuke was being kept. After checking for any nearby patrollers, I whispered as loud as I dared. This is very dangerous. Heisuke?
Huh? Wait, Chizuru?
Yes, I needed to tell you something. Is that okay?
Okay? No, it's not okay. It's not okay at all. If anyone catches you here, you'd be done for. You know what they'll do to a guy in house arrest. Imagine what'll happen to you.
I hear footsteps.
What? Damn it. Chizuru, get in here. Hurry.
Before I could even react, his door flew open and an arm shot out to pull me inside. I was still trying to figure out what was going on when he threw a blanket over me. What?
Shh. Shut up and don't move.
I wasn't sure if he could see it, but I nodded. We waited in breathless silence for the footsteps to move past before I finally poked out my head. Heisuke frowned over my head, watching silently.
What the heck were you thinking? What if somebody caught you? What if Hijikata caught you? Did you have a plan? If you've got something to tell me, why didn't you just, I don't know, ask someone else to do it? Or wait until I was out of the doghouse? You're nuts.
Sorry, but this couldn't wait. I can deal with the consequences, though. Can you? You don't even know what the consequences would be. I was happy. Well, didn't you visit me this afternoon?
Come on, that was just a coincidence.
It still made me happy. Being alone, I became swallowed by my anxiety. The concern you showed for me made me happy. I just wanted to return the favor.
This is well and dandy, but to leave your room... Look, I don't think you realize it yet, but Hijikata takes rules very seriously.
Seppuku.
I mean, look at me. See what I'm saying?
He gazed imploratively, bewildered by my behavior.
You said that this couldn't wait. Well, what's so important you had to come right now?
Oh, right. Good, it didn't get squished. I opened the wrapping to show him what I bought, and Heisuke's eyes lit up.
A rice ball?
Yes. Well, they're leftovers from dinner.
Wait, are you telling me you risk your life to bring me a rice ball?
Well, yeah. I thought you might be hungry. For several long moments, he just stared at it. Was he really so perplexed?
Huh. You did go to all this trouble for me. If I didn't need it and made you go back, that wouldn't change what you did. And,
His face broke into a wide smile. He is pretty hungry.
I am pretty damn hungry.
Who can resist a smile like that? As he spoke, he reached out, plucked the rice ball from my hand, and bit off a piece.
Whoa, dang, this is good. What's in it?
He displayed a great talent in taking large bites while still speaking full sentences. That's a talent, huh? Is it really that good? I mean, it's just salt and pickled plums.
Are you sure? I don't think I've ever eaten a rice ball this good.
It's 'cause you're starving. Really? Well, I'm glad you like it. He ate ravenously, as if he'd never eaten a meal in his entire life. He couldn't contain himself. I had a feeling it had less to do with my cooking skill and more attributed to him being starved, but I still felt guilty for not putting in more effort. In no time at all, he'd finished it off and was licking stray grains of rice from his fingers. He thanked me for the food, then made me promise never to do it again before I left his room. His fire-eyed expression from when I'd given him the rice ball made me giggle as I walked to my room.
Halt!
I froze. The voice came from around the corner, out of sight.
You heard me. What the hell are you doing?
Oh man, of anybody that could catch me. Hijikata!
What are you doing?
his eyes pressed against me like a pair of icy rods. I swallowed and hid the rice ball wrapper behind me. What could I say? Anything I said could possibly implicate Heisuke. Unfortunately, it seemed like Hijikata already knew whose room I'd visited.
If you were one of my men, I'd have you killed.
His vengeful scowl appeared like a demon in the darkness.
Get out of here, go to sleep, and don't ever let me catch you doing this again.
Of course, I'm so sorry. I ran from my room as fast as I could. My heart pounded as I clambered back into bed. That was way too close. He'd let me go this time, but I saw in his eyes that I'd been in serious trouble if he caught me again. I crawled deeper under the covers and desperately tried to think about something else. I couldn't deny that I crossed the line, but even after that terrifying encounter with Hijikata, I didn't regret it. I hadn't been able to do much, but it seemed to have really cheered him up. It was the first glimmer of hope refracting into me since coming to the Shinsengumi compound. And skipping time again. And here it's time to join them on their rounds. And our last choice for Chapter 1, no, I'm not. Not really an official member of the Shinsengumi. And we have to leave and search for my father. We're at Ikeda Inn, and now it's time to look for Heisuke. I had to look for Heisuke. He was always looking after me, so it was time I returned the favor. I looked around the inn.
Yeah!
What? Out of the darkness, a Ronin appeared, his sword at the ready, headed straight for me. Ah! As his sword swept down, another interposed itself between us, Nagakuro's blade.
You're fighting me, pal. You don't get to run off unless I say you can. Arrgh!
The Ronin gurgled wetly as Nagakuro drove his sword deep into the man's stomach. Blood exploded everywhere. I felt my throat suddenly rise. So much blood.
Sorry to ask you this right now, but Heisuke's in the back. Could you go get him?
Yeah, that's actually what I was about to do.
Nobody's getting past me, so you go take care of Heisuke, alright? I'm counting on you.
With that, he turned around and brought his blade up to meet another Ronin's. Got it. I'm going to go to Heisuke just as Nagakuro asked. I turned and ran off through the battlefield Ikeda Inn had become. As soon as I got to the top of the second floor, I found him. Heisuke? You're a mess. You're hurt! He blinked and looked around, almost as if he couldn't see me. Perhaps it was all the blood running from the wound on his forehead.
Chizuru! God damn it! What the hell are you doing here?
It's Nagakuro's fault. What? What do you mean? I'm here because I was worried about you. I thought maybe I could help.
Well, you can't. This is dangerous and not a good time to be worried about me.
Maybe, but that's a serious injury.
No, it's nothing. I'll just walk it off. I feel better already.
Yeah, rub some dirt on it. As he spoke, he turned around, his sword held in a ready position, prepared to defend me. But he was so weak, I could see that he only kept his grip on it with great effort. The Ronin across from us, on the other hand, was as silent and calm as a great statue. Wait. Things didn't seem right. Suddenly, I realized what it was. The Ronin had no sword. I didn't have time to try and figure out what that meant, though. I had to help Heisuke. We had to do something about the Ronin. With grim determination, I laid my hand on the hilt of my sword. He saw me move, and Heisuke's eyes went wide. I'll fight too, then. He looks hotter with blood on his face somehow. I might not be able to help much, but I can watch your back. He looked stunned for a second, and then his mouth split into a grin.
Right. So you're supposed to become my eyes or something. Come on, that'd take like 5 years.
It wasn't really the answer I'd expected to hear, and I couldn't help but laugh at it. The Ronin looked at us and sighed.
I have no reason to fight you.
What? What did he mean?
If you leave, then I will not take your lives.
He was letting us go? Considering the situation we were in, that was quite a favor. But how could we believe his word?
We can't let you go. Anybody who's with the Choshu is...
Heisuke wobbled. Heisuke? He could barely stand.
You assume too much. I am not one of the Choshu.
Then why the hell are you at the Ikeda?
His words were forced, as if it took all of his effort to speak, and the tip of his sword was beginning to shake. He showed no fear, but his injuries were serious. He couldn't put any more power into his arms, to the point of not being able to hold his sword.
His injury isn't life-threatening. However, he should get that treated as soon as possible.
The Ronin took one last unreadable look at us, and then turned around to leave.
Get back here, goddammit!
Heisuke! You're in no shape for this kid. He began to run after the Ronin, but he slipped in a fresh pool of blood and crashed to the floor.
Damn it! Damn it! This isn't over. Just wait until you're gonna...
He made a few more grunts that sounded like attempts at further curses, then stumbled and collapsed, unconscious. I need to stop the bleeding. Quickly, I tore off a section of my sleeve and pressed it against his forehead. Just as the man stated, it looked as though the blow only tore the skin, although it penetrated through to his skull. At last I felt myself relax. We were still in danger, but Heisuke's wound didn't look fatal. That was when I saw the headguard lying on the floor. Huh? It must have been Heisuke's, but it's been cracked cleanly in half by something. Their fight must have been awfully intense. I was starting to feel dizzy from the stench of blood, but Heisuke needed me. I couldn't give up. This time I will stay behind. And I'm going to the common room. I want Kono to train me so I can watch over everyone while he's gone. We shall investigate, specifically the Yagi house, and scream for Okita. And it's time to obediently go back to headquarters and say but again. This time I'm gonna look for Heisuke. It's alright now, though. But I'm alright now, right? Now that he's here?
Yep. You don't have to worry so long as you're here. I'll be with you.
Thanks. He pounded his chest with one fist and grinned. I felt a little better. There was something about his bravado that was somehow comforting. Let's see, here we have to... Yes, please, as almost always. Okita is none of my business. I see now. I was confused about the last thing, but I believe... Oh, because of the guide, I think it was misformatted. So I believe this time I have to choose the Furies. January 1867. Looks like we got a new scene here. Perhaps a Zuisoroku scene? End of December 1867. As we faced the end of the year, we all began preparing ourselves for the end of the year major cleaning of the compounds. One morning my breath made small white clouds in my room as I dressed, shivering the whole time. It seemed especially cold today. I mean, the temple's always cold, but today seems different. If it's this cold, there may be a few warriors that could catch a cold. I rubbed my hands together and blew on them in a small attempt to warm my frozen fingers. Oh yes, I know exactly what we're doing here. When I saw someone outside my door, and when they spoke, it was with such energy that for a moment I forgot the cold completely.
Chizuru, you awake?
I recognized that voice. Of course you do. Good morning, Heisuke. Why are you so excited? Did something happen?
Oh man, it's nuts. Come on, you have to see this.
What?
Just come here. It's outside.
He grabbed my hand and I stumbled after him. The light was bright and the air was cold, and my eyes snapped shut against both instinctively.
See? Isn't it pretty, Chizuru?
Well, if I could see, maybe. I slowly opened them again. Oh, wow!
Right? Isn't it amazing? It wasn't snowing last night.
You're right, this is incredible. How could this much snow fall in one night? It happens. It was the same temple courtyard I'd grown used to seeing every day, but now it looked like an entirely different world. Amidst the snow were a few other familiar things. Good morning. Things. You just call the guys things? Way to objectify your men, Chizuru.
Hey, there you are, Chizuru. Sure is a lot of it, right? My hands are freezing, though. Well, you know what they say. Cold hands, warm heart. Although, it's not like the ladies even know what this guy's hands are like.
Nagakura jerked his head at Heisuke with a grin. Okay, I thought he was talking about Sanosuke for a minute there. I was like, wait a minute, you gotta be kidding me. Heisuke scowled.
That's just because I'm a gentleman. Besides, Shin, you're practically half naked. Put something on.
You're one to talk? All bare-shouldered like that?
Forget it, kid. He wouldn't know discretion if it bit him in the ass. Besides, he just never gets sick.
Still, I feel cold just looking at him. Can't you, like, put on a jacket or something, Shin?
And deny the world all this just because it's cold? That hardly seems fair.
Who is he to deny the world his muscles just because of the cold?
Besides, look at Sano. How's he any different, right? Back me up here, Chizuru.
Oh yeah, Sano is bearing a little bit more chest. Only a teensy bit more, though. But you're showing her upper arms there. Look, all of y'all need some warmer clothes. I tried to laugh it off. That wasn't an argument I wanted to be part of. To be honest, though, none of them were looking dressed for the weather, although looking at them didn't make me feel cold, per se. Oh, yeah. It's warming you up looking at all that beefcake, huh? Anyway, look at all this snow. There's so much.
Right? Don't you just want to go play in it?
Well, I don't think we have enough snow to make a fort. Do you want to make some snow bunnies?
Whoa. No way, Chizuru. That's kid stuff. We're men. Looks bad if we play kid games, you know. I don't know about that, but I know I'd probably die laughing if I saw Shinpachi making a snow bunny.
All the more reason to do it. I'd love to see it. Then, what should we do?
Isn't it obvious?
Almost in unison, they bent down, began to dig in the snow, and... Oh, wait! A snowball fight?
Exactly. We already made teens before I went and got you. You're with me, Chizuru.
I know he's a pretty weak excuse for a partner, but that's the luck of the draw. Sorry, kid.
What's this? The two big guys against the two little ones? That's hardly fair.
Hey, you just watch. As long as I'm here, you guys won't get a single hit on her. Just leave it to me, Chizuru. I'll protect you.
They looked excited to begin, but... if I leave my room to play, Hijikata's gonna get mad.
No, this isn't playing, Chizuru. This is training.
What?
See, you gotta dodge the snowballs, and that trains your reflexes and eye-hand coordination. Doesn't that sound convincing?
Yeah, but, you know, they haven't actually had me training here. I haven't been permitted to train. Oh, darn it, I've been going on too long. Alright, I'm sorry to break this snowball fight scene, but I gotta break it. So we'll continue with our snowball fight in the next episode. So sorry about the bad spot. So hope to see you there or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.